Let's learn how we can use a streak test to help us identify different rocks and minerals. A mineral streak is just the color of the powdered form of that mineral, which can be tested by running it across a streak plate. If you don't have access to one of these, an unglazed porcelain tile like the one I have here will work just fine. This test comes in handy because the color of different minerals can look awfully similar to one another. Here we have a sample of graphite, hematite, galena, augite. All of these are dark, grayish samples, and to an untrained eye, these minerals might look indistinguishable from one another. This is where a streak test comes in, since the powdered form of the mineral can be drastically different from the color of the mineral as a whole. To perform a streak test, just take your sample and run it along your plate. A mineral like galena is soft and will easily glide across the plate. It leaves behind a silvery residue, and you can practically see the shiny flakes within its streak. If we take a similarly sparkly mineral, hematite, we're in for quite a surprise. Hematite gives off a reddish-brown streak in most cases, even if the sample itself looks silver. We're also met with a lot more resistance trying to run it across the plate, because it is much harder. These two similar-looking samples give very different results, which is why a streak test can be so handy. In addition to looking out for the color of the mineral streak, you'll also want to get a feel for how hard it is to drag your sample across the plate, as that can help you approximate its Mohs hardness. Keep in mind that a streak plate has a Mohs hardness of about a 7, so any sample that's harder than that will appear to leave no streak, or a white streak, which is actually the powdered form of the streak plate getting scratched by the mineral. With a Mohs hardness of 1 or 2, graphite is what pencil lead is made out of. So it makes sense that this sample would give us a very dark mark like a pencil would and take almost no effort to streak. Augite, on the other hand, has a Mohs hardness of 5.5-6, so it gives a much lighter streak and takes much more pressure in order to make any mark at all. Note that a streak test may cause your sample to become a bit scratched, depending on how hard it is compared to the streak plate, so only perform this test on samples you don't mind getting a little scratched up. To clean off your streak plate, running it under water should get off most of the softer minerals, but you may have to really scrub to get the harder minerals off, as the powder tends to get stuck in the grooves they make on the plate.